Hi everyone, today's story is called The Affirmation Weaver, and it's a story about believing in yourself. An affirmation is a compliment to yourself, so recognizing what you're good at, and we're all good at something. So I hope you enjoy this story, okay? Can you see? A young dolphin sat at the bottom of the ocean. A hermit crab was weaving a beautiful web made of strands of seaweed. The hermit crab was known to all the creatures of the ocean as the Affirmation Weaver. He was a crab of very few words, but his intricate web brought joy to anyone that took a moment to sit still and enjoy its beauty. The dolphin was watching the hermit crab weave his web, but he wasn't really paying attention. He was pouting and feeling sorry for himself. He felt discouraged and he felt sad. A little sea child that had been watching the dolphin decided to ask him a question. "Why aren't you playing and jumping in the waves with your dolphin friends?" The dolphin told the sea child that he didn't jump as high as the other dolphins. He didn't think he was smart enough to learn all the fun jumps and tricks that the other dolphins knew how to do. The dolphin didn't feel good about himself, and he didn't believe in himself. The sea child held the dolphin's fins and looked into his eyes. "My friends and I feel happy inside. We have a smile we cannot hide. We say nice things while we laugh and play. We want to show you how to feel this way." The hermit crab heard the dolphin and knew it was time to weave a different kind of web. A flounder shook the sand off of her head. She placed herself across from the dolphin and said, "I like myself." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the flounder, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A blowfish hovered into the group. He placed himself across from the flounder and said, "I am a gift to the world." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the blowfish, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A starfish crawled over to the group. She placed herself across from the blowfish and said, "I am creative." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the starfish, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A jellyfish came floating by. He placed himself across from the blowfish and said, "I believe in myself." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the jellyfish, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A snail slid slowly into the group. She placed herself across from the jellyfish and said, "I learn easily." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the snail, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A lobster ventured out of his dark cave. He placed himself across from the snail and said, "I am happy." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the lobster, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A seahorse entered into the group. She placed herself across from the lobster and said, "I am full of life." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the seahorse, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. A clam popped up from his underground hole. He placed himself across from the seahorse and said, "I can do it." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the clam, leaving behind a shiny strand of seaweed. An angelfish glided into the group. She placed herself across from the clam and said, "I love myself." And with that, the hermit crab scurried over to the angelfish, completing the web. So the sea child, dolphin, and sea friends closed their eyes for a moment. They imagined that they could absorb all of the wonderful words they had just shared. They imagined what it would feel like if they could move all of the positive words in their bodies, hearts, and minds. So can you remember some of the ones that were said? I am creative. I believe in myself. I like myself. I am happy. I am full of life. I am a gift to the world. I learn easily. I love myself and I can do it. The sea child spoke to the dolphin again. Now you're beginning to feel happy inside. You have a smile you cannot hide. Say nice things while you laugh and play. Affirmations help you feel this way. And with that, the dolphin swam straight up to the top of the ocean. He said, I can do it. And he jumped high over the very next wave and landed with a double twist and a splash. He smiled down at his friends and their wonderful web. I love myself just the way I am. I can do anything I believe I can. My positive thoughts make me feel good, just the way I know I should. And with that, the hermit crab remembered why he was called the Affirmation Weaver. So I hope you enjoyed that story, guys. It's one of my favorites, and it always makes me feel good.